the county assembly here, so that we are able to make a few on a few issues affecting our county, and especially mostly the problem we are having in Juja Sub County right now of the Hyena's menace that has caused the lives of so many of our young people. So this is a press statement by I myself, the governor, and the team accompanying me here. The statement is such that I stand in full solidarity with the residents of Juja who have been living in fear and mourning due to persistent hyena menace. This deadly threat has tragically claimed lives, with the most recent attack against a 5-year-old boy in Nyashava in Weteithi ward, serving as a grim reminder of how dangerous these wild animals have become. The death toll now stands at more than 10 people. Indeed, informally, the numbers we know are way beyond 22 people who have since this menace started lost their lives. A number of residents have also been injured by these beasts. This is a shocking and devastating figure, highlighting the severity of the situation. All these cases have been reported to the police and to the Kenya Wildlife Services, popularly known as KWS. The frustrations and protests by Juja residents are not only valid but legitimate. They have been left to fend for themselves, while the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, the very agency tasked with managing and controlling wildlife, has shamefully abdicated their responsibility. Despite numerous appeals from both residents and the county government of Kiambu, KWS has failed to act decisively and consistently in taming these murderous animals. The reckless abandon with which hyenas are killing innocent people is unacceptable and cannot be ignored any longer. There are also disturbing reports of wild animals raiding even Ndeia, Ngecha in Limuru and Kikuyu sub-counties. It is appalling that KWS has treated this life-threatening situation with casual indifference, while families are left mourning their loved ones. The blame lies squarely on the government agency, which bears the sole responsibility for protecting citizens from dangerous wildlife. We cannot allow ourselves to be put in a position where we have to choose between the lives of our people and animals. The choice is clear when it comes to that our people's lives matter. As the county government, we have done our part, and we have worked diligently with the local residents to seal off disused quarries that have become breeding grounds for the hyenas. These quarries, which the hyenas have used as hideouts, have been a focal point of our effort to prevent further mayhem. However, despite these proactive steps and our continuous communication with KWS, it appears that our pleas have fallen on deaf ears. It is now time to hold KWS accountable for their inaction. The agency must urgently deploy its resources to round up the hyenas terrorizing Juja and the environs and relocate them to game parks and reserves where they belong. These wild animals cannot coexist with human beings. KWS must act immediately before more lives are lost. There have been only empty promises by KWS, and as a result, more lives have continued to be lost. My question to KWS is, how many more deaths must be recorded before you act? Do the residents of Juja deserve this? We demand action from the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, under whose ministry KWS falls. Madam CS, as you settle into your new position, please make this issue a priority, as the residents of Juja are suffering. You owe it to the people of Juja and Kiambu, indeed, to resolve this crisis. Finally, I wish to state that we will not stand by and continue to mourn our people, our beloved ones, while KWS remains complacent. The time for action is now. So let KWS act with the urgency and the seriousness that this dire situation demands. So that's my statement, and collectively the statement of this team here that we have. And I want to emphasize quickly that since I became governor, continuously it has become an everyday affair. Barely 2 months passes without us going to Juja, to Nyashava, to Weteidhie, to Juja farm, until it has now become the order of the day. And as most Kenyans saw recently, the residents of Juja, and indeed the environs, resorted to going to the road to block the road, but ultimately it is an expression of their disgust, an expression of their despair. That's the only thing they can do, but that does not remove the hyenas from the environs and areas where they are living. The young boy who was mauled and killed by the hyenas a few days ago was going to the shop barely at dark, having been sent by the mother, a 5-year-old boy, to go and get maybe a packet of milk and back to the house just nearby. And these hyenas have become that daring that even barely when it's dark, they are lurking there around the houses in Juja. And when they see a boy, a young child like that, they grab the child and kill him. There are cases where limbs, legs of people who have been mauled and completely devoured have been seen in the morning. Recently, we had reports and confirmed that a leg of a man was being seen in the quarry. I personally went to Juja to mourn a mother who was mauled by the same hyenas and killed. Recently, another mother again, who just sells uji around to the quarry workers, also lost her life. And the list is endless, it is countless. And every time we invite KWS, I as the governor invited KWS here in my office twice, including the rest of the security team, to discuss how do we deal with this thing. And we believed, and we have complied, and we have cooperated, so that this menace will be put to a stop and a complete halt by KWS. But immediately, when we have the discussion, we agree on a course of action, we deploy for a day or two, then you can't tell what happens after that. They disappear. They just disappear. And the mayhem continues. And this is why we are saying also, as the people of Kiambu, I as the governor, I cannot stand anywhere else but with our people. And we have said we have had enough. We have had enough. So we have to now contemplate action. What action do we take? As I've said, we just can't sit and watch by as our people are getting killed. Children, women, men, just being, they've become the feast of these hyenas. We are demanding that there has to be immediate decisive action. And we don't want any more of the stories that have been told here before by KWS, that we are going to come, or we don't have cars, we don't have what. That is not acceptable anymore. And like I've said, as residents of Kiambu, I as the governor, we will be there with the people. And now we will have to come up with our own formula. We have respected the rules and said, let KWS do their job and relocate these animals and ensure that our people are safe. Because we did not want to take the law in our hands. But we cannot wait anymore. No other life is going to be lost as we watch by. Yeah. So we just have to get this message very clear to KWS so that they can take immediate action. And tomorrow will be too late. We'll be burying that boy amidst a lot of tears on Wednesday. Why would a mother lose a child they have sired and taken care of and taken to school and fed and brought up and they love, just because for more than a year, 2 years, that the agents have just decided not to do what they're supposed to do in their duty to ensure that the conflict between human beings and wildlife is resolved. So that is our position. Niseme kwa Kiswahili ya kwamba sisi tumekuja hapa kutoa statement yetu tukiwa tunakemea kwa sauti kubwa na kwa kauli moja hii hali ambayo imekuwa inaendelea hapa kwetu Kiambu, haswa huko Juja. Lakini sio Juja peke yake, ni mahali kwingi ambapo sasa binadamu wamekuwa chakula ya fisi. Wakati mimi nilichaguliwa governor hapa, tumezunguka hapo kila siku unasikia kuna kifo cha mtu fulani. Tunatembea kule Juja, tunaenda tunaita watu wa KWS, tunaongea, tunapanga, alafu wanasema tunakuja tutachukua hatua ndio tumalize hii shida. Baada ya siku mbili huwezi kuwaona tena. Mimi kama governor nimesema, niliwaita hapa kwa hiyo ofisi yangu mara mbili, tukaketi pamoja na security team na tukasikilizana. Utaratibu ni kwamba hao watakuja wakae pale huko upande ya Juja yote, huko Weteithi wakae Juja Farm, huko Kalimoni, wapi kila siku, na wa deploy kikosi kidogo hapo ndio wahakikisha kwamba hizo ofisi zote zimerudishwa kwa park. Baada ya siku chache hawakuonekana tena. Sasa tangu siku hizo mpaka leo zaidi ya watu 6 wamekufa. Mama alikuliwa pale na hao ofisi, kiwango cha karibu kummaliza. Tukaenda kule tukaongea. Tena juzi mama mwingine tena akiwa muuzaji wa uji asubuhi akakuliwa. Hii ya juzi ni mtoto mdogo mchanga, kijana wa miaka 5, anatembea tu pale kuchukua maziwa, ametumwa na mama kwa duka masaa ya jioni, sio usiku. Alafu fisi sasa zimekuwa mpaka sasa zimekuja kukaa huko kwa manyumba, zinajificha, zinagojea watu. Kwani itaisha lini hii mambo? Ndio tumesema KWS, warning yetu ya mwisho, ilani yetu ya mwisho, hatutaki tena kuja wachukue hatua mara moja, na sio hatua ile ya mdomo ama ya kusema siku mbili. Na mimi nimesema kama governor ya kwamba nitakuwa kwa mstari wa mbele na watu wangu wa hapa Kiambu. Tukikataa na tunasema sasa kama hatuna usalama wa kuhakikisha ya kwamba watu wetu hauliwi tena hizo fisi, sasa tutajipanga hata sisi wenyewe. Na tuseme lazima tulinde maisha ya watoto wetu na watu wetu. Hatuwezi kukubali tena. Tulikubali sisi ya kwamba hatutaki kuchukua sheria mkononi jameni. Tukasema wakuje wafanye kazi yao. Sasa tutakuwa kila siku tunakuja tunaandika kwa orodha mpya. Tena mtu mwingine ameliwa na fisi. Kwa hivyo tafadhali waziri wa wildlife Rebecca Miano, mimi nimesema ya kwamba kwa wakati huu ukiingia kwa hiyo ofisi mpya, ulipatiwa kazi mpya, jua wewe kazi yako imekugojea, na hiyo department yako, hiyo agency yako imeturudisha sisi watu wa Kiambu mahali ambapo hatutaki kukumbuka ya kwamba kila siku watu wetu wanauliwa na hizo fisi. Tunataka kukuona wewe na hao watu hao wa KWS na wakuja wakae hapo na sisi, na hatutaki mambo ya mdomo tena, tunataka vitendo jameni. Na tumesema hivyo ndivyo itakuwa. Kwa hivyo kutoka leo sisi tunagojea, tutamzika huyo mtoto siku ya Wednesday. Wakati tunakuja kumzika, tunataka kuona hizo hatua zimechukuliwa. Kama sio hivyo, sisi tunaingia uwanjani kujipanga jameni. Yes, na hiyo hatusemi kwa kama tuko chini ya meza. Tunasema tukiwa hapa tumesimama imara, kwa vile lazima tukinge maisha ya watu wetu. Kwa hiyo adoi tutogo kita nega tuge na thauti nene ati tutigwethekera rege, tutire na mundu ungi orono mwe ukuheanwo ari iruta, na ndio kana ni hakika na nikirira rutwo tondu andu aitu kuria Juja riu matwikire ni irio cia hiti bururi-ini, na ona ithuĩ tũrĩ andũ a Kenya ta andũ arĩa angĩ. No tũtingĩikaraga tũikara tũkaigua mũtumia wa gũthiĩ kwendia ũcũrũ rũcinĩ agĩthiĩ kwendia ũcũrũ wake nĩ arĩo nĩ hiti. Tũgĩikara ũkaigua mũtumia ũngĩ agĩthiĩ araruta wĩra mwena ũrĩa agĩkĩra kuma nyũmba gũthiĩ wĩra-inĩ nĩ arĩo nĩ hiti. Tũrakorire kũgũrũ kwa mũndũrũme arĩtwo Tukũ, kũgũrũ nĩkuo gũtigarĩte Kware mũrĩa. Wa mũthia nĩ kana gaka kararĩirwo kimwe kimwe kĩhĩtũku, kana ka mĩaka 5 gagĩthiĩ nduka-inĩ gatũmĩtwo nĩ nyina, rĩngĩ gakagũre iria, na ti ũtukũ, nĩ mathaa ma hwaĩ-inĩ ma iria, na hiti cikarĩte harĩa cietereire mũndũ ũrĩa ũngĩhota kũrĩo. kana karanyitwo rihiti kararĩo karoragwo. Na tondu niĩ nĩ njĩtĩte andũ a KWS gũkũ wabici yakwa tũgaikara thĩ na andũ a security na tũgetĩkanĩria atĩ nĩ megũthiĩ moe makinya marĩa magĩrĩire nĩgetha ũndũ ũyũ ũthire. No rĩu twaria mũthenya ũmwe thutha wa thikũ igĩrĩ makora. Twaikara thutha wa thikũ igĩrĩ na ndarutire macini cia kaunti. Ndarutire macini cia kaunti ngĩcitwara kũrĩa Juja tũgĩthiĩ gũthika kwara icio ciothe. Tũkĩrĩha mbeca nyingĩ mũno. Nginya kwandĩka andũ wĩra. Marima mau mothe nĩ niĩ ndathikithirie. Ndĩ governor ti KWS mathikithirie. Nĩ ndathire gũthikithia marima mau na ngarama ya kaunti. Rĩu tondũ hiti nĩ ciamenyerire gũkũ nĩ kũrĩagwo andũ na itiũragio. Rĩu ciumaga ona kũrĩa igoko mathaa nĩ ma hwaĩ-inĩ gũkũ kũrĩ andũ a Kiambu. Tũraiga nĩ twaigana na tũraiga ciaigana nĩ cia tũtirĩ na ciana rĩngĩ cia kũheana kana andũ aitũ. Turamera mwana ũcio to tũramũthika mũthenya wa Jumatano Wednesday tũkĩrĩkia gũthika mwana ũcio tũrenda kuona ũndũ ũronekana na maitho na ũndũ ciĩko andũ mangĩona nĩ ciĩko cia kwĩrutĩra na ũrĩa kwagĩrĩire. No wona twaga kuona ũguo ona ithuĩ nĩ tũkwĩbanga. Tũtingĩikara rĩngĩ twetagĩrĩra atĩ nĩ tũrerirwo na andũ aitũ no gũkua marakua. Koguo mamenye niĩ ndĩ governor nĩ niĩ ndaria na ndũiga tũtiraria twĩcuba na tũtiraria tũhithĩte rungu rwa metha. Tũraria twĩ haha nĩ tũkĩonekanaga na tũraiga ũrĩa kũrĩ tondũ wona maga gwĩka ũguo no nginyagia tuoe makinya ithuĩ enyewe makũgitĩra andũ aitũ na makũgiria ciana citũ na atumia na athuri kũrĩo nĩ hiti kũrĩa ta matarĩ mwene. Koguo ũguo nĩguo tũkwendaga kũmenyithia andũ aitũ. Njĩre andũ a Juja pole mũno, njĩre family ĩyo nĩ ndĩratũmanĩte kũu na no ngũthiĩ pole mũno na nĩ tũkũrũgama na andũ aitũ a Juja tondũ hĩndĩ ĩngĩ gũtigũkorwo gũgĩthiĩ na njĩra ĩyo na mbere na ũndũ ũcio rĩngĩ. Asanteni. Andũ arĩa moragĩtwo nĩ hiti ithabu-inĩ ritũ nĩ andũ ta 22 andũ 22 nĩo marĩtwo nĩ hiti icio. Rĩu ũngĩtara andũ 20 nacio rĩu nĩ arĩa mangĩrwo atĩ nĩ aramenyekana. Ĩno Juja kwĩ andũ aingĩ mũno marutaga wĩra kũrĩa angĩona mokaga kwandĩkwo makware-inĩ. Mũndũ wandĩkwo kũrĩa kware-inĩ ona ndũgũthi kũmũria ithetagwo atĩa kana nĩ wako. Angĩ mokaga mũndũ akomborete handũ ũkona mũndũ nĩ aragire ndũkũmenya kana nĩ kũinũka inũkire kana nĩ kũrĩrwo onake nĩ kũrĩo arĩirwo. Koguo ithabu rĩngĩ kũrĩa gũthuthuria no kũrĩa ona andũ acio 22 nĩ anini. Hiti ciũhire kũrĩa rĩu gĩthaka kĩrĩa andũ maikaraga manyitĩte marana ngundi. Andũ mũndũ gwaku nyũmba atĩ ndũngiuma ĩgĩkinya thaa 1:30 kuma nja hau tondũ ndũgũcemania na hiti kũrĩa. Na rĩu nacio to nĩ ciamenyerire kũrĩ andũ ikĩgĩa ũrũme. Rĩu nĩkĩo twaiga rĩu ithuĩ nĩ twakinya mũico rĩu. Aingĩ mũno mwena wa Ndĩia andũ mena guoya mũno. Mwena wa Gĩkũyũ andũ mena guoya mũno. Mũthenya ũngĩ ndĩ haha Ũthĩĩrũ Kabete ndĩreragwo nĩ andũ hau atĩ he hiti marona nacio ci hau rũĩ-inĩ rwĩ hau. Rĩu andũ marĩkara mekũĩte na mena wasiwasi mũno. Koguo nĩkĩo ndĩiga rĩu tũngĩrekereria ũndũ ũyũ andũ aitũ matirĩhota kũruta wĩra. Ningĩ tũtirĩ na ciana ingĩ cia kũheana magongona maya ma kũrutĩra hiti. Aca. Wa mbere ũkorwo nĩ wega tũiguithanie atĩ andũ acio othe marĩtwo ũngĩthiĩ Juja ĩyo yothe gũtirĩ family ĩmwe ngĩkwĩra atĩ mũndũ witũ arĩirwo andũ a KWS magĩũka ona narĩ magĩtũnyitĩrĩra nginya na mathiko-inĩ kana ona magĩũka narĩ makĩrũgamĩrĩra kagarama kamwe kana makĩrĩha mũndũ kana family ĩmwe compensation. Gũtirĩ orona ĩmwe. Na koguo rĩu tũngiuga atĩ tũreterera atĩ nĩo marĩũkaga gũtwĩra tũtingĩthiĩ ũguo. Wa mbere wona twathiĩ ũguo nĩ kĩo ndaiga nĩ tũkuoya makinyarĩ no nginyagia tũcarie kĩhoto kĩa andũ acio na family icio. Nĩgetha angĩkorwo nĩ arĩa marĩrĩirwo ndona magathi magakua na nĩ tũramenya nĩ acio twambe tũhakikice andũ acio nĩ marĩhĩtwo nĩ KWS. Tondũ nĩ marĩhagwo nĩ tuonaga na kũrĩa kũngĩ mĩrũthi yoimĩra yarĩa ng'ombe marĩhaga ng'ombe ciarĩyo. Kinya nĩ matuĩte nĩ mbeca cigana ng'ombe mwĩrĩhagwo. Mũndũ na ng'ombe kaĩ mũndũ atuĩkire nĩ ũtarĩ bata gũkĩra ng'ombe. Leu kogo ikinya no nginya tukinyukie mabe mari he andu aitu. Wa keri ndoiga no nginya rĩu tucarie njĩra cia kũgitĩra andũ a Kiambu na andũ a Juja. Ithuĩ wenyewe no nginya tuikare thĩ rĩu tucokanĩrĩrie mĩtwe itũ tũrĩkanĩre na tũtirĩ akĩgu. Aca no nginya tumenye rĩu ũrĩa tũgwĩka nĩgetha andũ aitũ makorwo nao mũndũ agĩikara ũguo akamenya onake nĩ mũrũgamĩrĩre. Asante. Yes. Kama nilivyosema hapo awali, zaidi ya watu 22 tunajua tayari hawa wameliwa na fisi, na wale ni wenye mtu anaweza sema ni huyu na yule kwa huyo muda. Walakini nimeongeza nikasema pia hapa Juja na haswa Kiambu yote watu wengi ni wa kutoka nje, wengine ni watu wa hapa. Mtu anakuja anaandikwa kibarua ya kufanya kazi kwa Kwere, kufanya kazi wapi, na watu kwa vile watu ni wengi hawaulizani wewe unaitwa wapi ama umeitwa nani ama umetoka wapi. Wengine mtu anaweza kuliwa tu, mnakosa kumuona, mnafikiri alirudi nyumbani. Kwa hivyo watu wanaweza kuwa wengi sana. Ya pili ni kwamba fidia inafaa kulipwa na KWS. Ya kwamba mtu akiliwa ng'ombe ikiliwa na simba, hii ndio ile maagano kama hayo. Sasa hapa Kiambu sio ndio wanakuliwa. Kutoka hao watu wote hakuna record hata moja ya kuonyesha kama kidole. KWS wamekuja angalau hata kusimamia mazishi, wacha kumlipa fidia. Na ndio tunasema fidia ya hao watu wote, na tunaumwa sana haswa na hayo maisha ya mitano. Mtoto angelikuwa labda hata rais wa nchi, mtoto wa miaka 5 ameliwa na fisi bure tu namna hii. Wamama mtu anaamkia tu kwenda kujikaza tu anafanya nini? Hakuna mtu amelipwa fidia na hao watu. Na ndio tunasema sasa sisi hatua ya mwanzo lazima tufuate, fidia ilipwe. Ya pili nimesema hatuwezi kusimama tu hivi tukiangalia watu wetu wakiliwa na fisi na tunanyamaza. Tutajua ile hatua tutachukua sisi wenyewe, na hatua tukichukua itaonekana tumechukua hatua. Ndio. Asante. Sawa.